يمسه إلا المطهرون. Now, this is a recitation which is located in a book which is protected, and none can touch this book except those who are pure and clean. So what is so important about the positions in which the stars are located? Answer. This verse of the Quran is pointing to you that if you want to study the verses of the Quran, you have to do it the way you study the positions in which the stars are located in order to read the sky. There used to be a time when we had scholars who used to study the Quran this way, but today we've lost it. So you have to look to see the connections between verses of the Quran to be able to understand what the subject is. So here is a verse of Surah Al-Saba. And Sulaiman alayhi salam is ruling over the world in the holy state of Israel located in Jerusalem. The holy state, the Khilafah state of Israel located in Jerusalem, and he's ruling over it. He's a king and he's a prophet. And Allah sends him a vision, and the vision terrifies him. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا سُلَيْمَانَ. We tested Sulaiman. We gave him something which caused him distress. وَأَلْقَيْنَا عَلَى كُرْسِيهِ جَسَدٍ. And we placed a jasad on his throne. We will come to the word jasad shortly. When he saw this jasad, he immediately understood the meaning of the vision. Me, I would take a lifetime to understand, but not Sulaiman. Automatically he understood. And we know how he understood the vision based on his response. What was his response? قال رب اغفر لي وهب لي ملكا لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي. He said, first of all, he sought forgiveness from Allah, not for any particular sin he committed. No. This is his way, that when he wants to ask for something, he first asks for forgiveness. And so when you want to ask for something, you know how difficult it is today to get married. So when you want to ask for something, first of all ask for forgiveness and then ask for what you want. وَهَبْ لِي مُلْكًا لَا يَنْبَغِي لِأَحَدٍ مِّن بَعْدِي. Two meanings. And grant that none can inherit my kingdom after me, and grant that there could never be another kingdom comparable to mine. And so now, it is possible for us to recognize what was his understanding of the vision, namely, that person sitting on my throne, whom Allah has shown to me, is a very, very evil person, and he wants to inherit my kingdom. This is the Khilafah state, the only one on earth, the only one. And Allah says, He told the angels, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. So the purpose of sending mankind on earth was to establish this Khilafah state. And yet, he is asking Allah, I don't want anyone to inherit this kingdom after me. لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي. Hence, Sulaiman alayhi salam is asking that holy Israel, the Khilafah state of Israel, should perish when he dies. There is proof that our explanation of the Quran is correct. The proof is that after Sulaiman alayhi salam died, Allah answered his dua and the holy state of Israel perished and was never restored until this day. So now then, who or what was the jasad? A jasad is a body without a soul. And that is what the Samiri forged from gold when Musa alayhi salam was up the mountain. While Musa was up the mountain, that is what the Samiri did. So now, the jasad was a golden calf. And Samiri told them that you must worship the golden calf. And they're doing that up to this day. But this jasad cannot be a calf. This jasad wants to inherit Holy Israel. So this jasad has to be a human being, but not a human being with a human nafs. No. He has to be a human being without a human nafs. Okay, so I came to the conclusion, and I am confident that I am correct, that that evil being sitting on the throne who wants to inherit, that evil being sitting on the throne who wants to inherit Holy Israel is Dajjal, the false Messiah. This is ayah mutashabiha, meaning a verse of the Quran which has to be interpreted with ta'weel in order to be understood. And we have the freedom up to this day to interpret the Quran. However, whoever you are when you interpret the Quran, even if you are Shia, only Allah can confirm that the interpretation is correct. And so when we interpret the Quran, we always say, Allahu Alam, Allah knows best. We can be right and we can be wrong, but we have the right to interpret the Quran. If we interpret the Quran correctly, then that becomes truth and it will prevail. If we make a mistake in interpreting the Quran, we still get barakah for having made the effort. But tomorrow it will go down the river of no return and be forgotten. So when I interpret the Quran, you must not accept my interpretation unless you are convinced that I am correct. And so now we have from the Quran division. The Dajjal is going to be sitting on the throne of Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam after Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam passes away. Now we turn to the other verse, which I think is in maybe Surah Al-Nahl, I don't remember correctly. وَلَمَّا قَضَيْنَا سُلَيْمَانَ الْمَوْتِ. When death came to Sulaiman, what happened? مَا ضَلَّهُمْ عَنْ مَوْتِهِ إِلَّا. Notice how slowly I'm going. مَا ضَلَّهُمْ عَنْ مَوْتِهِ إِلَّا دَابَّةُ الْأَرْضِ تَأْكُلُ مِنْ سَأَتَهُ. When we caused Sulaiman to die, مَا ضَلَّهُمْ عَنْ مَوْتِهِ إِلَّا دَابَّةُ الْأَرْضِ تَأْكُلُ مِنْ سَأَتَهُ. Nothing, they did not know that he was dead until Dabbatul Ard came and consumed the minsa of his stuff. When we go to this is the uncomfortable part of the lecture now. I wish I didn't have to share this with you. When we go to the tafsir of the Quran, this is what we get. It is painful for me to say that something to be found in the classical tafsir is nonsense. It is painful for me to say that. The classical tafsir.
Classical tafsir.
Yeah, the explanations that are given in the classical tafsir. What you find in the classical tafsir is that when Suleiman died, he died while sitting on his throne, holding on to his staff. And nobody knew he was dead. And he kept on sitting on the throne all day, not talking, not moving, not going to eat, not going to the bathroom, not going to sleep. Not only for one day, for more than one day, for a few months, maybe a few years. And he remained like that, sitting on his throne, holding on to the staff, the dead body, until some termites came and started nibbling at the bottom of the staff. And it took a few years, perhaps, to nibble enough until the staff lost its balance. And when the staff lost its balance, then the body of Suleiman lost its balance and he collapsed. I am not happy in saying, but that is nonsense. That is nonsense. What happened was, when Suleiman alayhi salam died, everybody knew he was dead and he was buried. But when he made the dua, لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي, لا ينبغي ملكا لا ينبغي أحد من بعدي, grant me a kingdom incomparable to any other, then Allah gave him the jinn, the shayateen of the jinn, who were ordered to work for him. And some of them were آخرين مقرنين في الأسفل. They were in chains. Shayateen min al-jinn. And these shayateen did not know that he was dead. Allah gave them orders that you must obey Suleiman alayhi salam. And if you disobey, I will punish you with terrible punishment. The reason why they did not know that Suleiman is dead was because even though he was dead, they were still seeing him sitting on the throne, holding on to his staff, talking and walking and moving, and so they're convinced he's alive. So the Jasad sitting on the throne, so long as he's holding on to the staff, is able to use the minsa'a, with C, not sad. He's able to use the minsa'a of the staff to intervene in time and to move time backwards and forwards to show Suleiman still alive. When I was studying this subject, I approached two scholars of Arabic, both of them with PhDs. One was Syrian with a PhD in Quranic semantics, and the other was Palestinian with a PhD in Quranic Arabic. And I asked both of them, what is the minsa? And both of them replied, the minsa is the staff. The kan is asa with sword, and minsa with sea. So I said, I don't agree with these two scholars. And I came to the conclusion that the minsa is not the staff, But the min sa'a is a miraculous quality of the staff. Throw the staff on the ground, it becomes a stick. Strike the water with the cane, and the water parted. Tell Netanyahu for me, please. It's coming back. It's coming back. Strike the rock with the cane. 12 streams of water came. And so the staff of Sulaiman alayhi salam controls time. And if you hold that staff, you can change time, you can corrupt time. The staff of Sulaiman alayhi salam has a min sa'a which is connected with time. Nasi, min sa'a nasi, innama nasi'u ziyadatul lil kufr. The same word, nasi. The staff of Sulaiman alayhi salam has a miraculous quality which can control time, in which you can bring about corruption of time with backward and forward movement of time. And so Dajjal is still holding on to that staff of Sulaiman now up to this moment. And Dajjal is still using the minsa of the staff to get the jinn to work for the state of Israel. On another occasion, we'll be able to establish the relationship between the jinn, the shayateen, and modern Western civilization, as well as the state of Israel. So what we've done tonight is we've established the relationship between Dajjal and time. And that Dajjal is going to corrupt sacred time and demolish sacred time to replace it with bogus, secular, godless time. This is the difficult part of the subject. Tomorrow night will be an easier topic, when we first of all, we're going to explain to you and describe to you from the Quran the system of sacred time. And then we will explain to you tomorrow night how Dajjal has destroyed it and replaced it with bogus, godless, secular time.